Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's heading towards evening. We've had a good long day here of Rocket League action for you from the Plantronics Gaming Pro League Draft Tournament. We're going to be getting you round number 7, Paragon eSports versus Gameroos Hypanova, and we are straight into the game as we have, it should be Paragon eSports, yes, on the blue side, and Gameroos Hypanova on the red side. And let's just get this reset. And we're in. My name is Crisis, and I'm joined by Lon Janis, and I see a goal has been scored already, Lon.
Man, oh man, I'm really hyped for this game. This is a hard act to follow, that last game that just got played. Holy cow, Scavengers and Dinner Time. Whew. But you know what? I'm sure this is going to be a really hype game as well. I know Paragon haven't been performing up to necessarily expectations that much this tournament, and this is their opportunity to show that that's not still the case.
Yeah, they've really got to pull their fingers out and put together a blinder against the Gameroo Hypanovas, and I can tell that I'm going to be saying Gameroos Hyparoos by the end of this cast because that is a long name. And a shout out to them for having it. The Roos on the orange team are Grand Illusion, Stormcloud, and Lost Pirate, going up against Paragon eSports, Ozzy Osbert, FX, and Cold. And it is 1-0 at the moment, Longinus, in favor of the Roos.
All right, I'm really interested. So I haven't had a chance to really watch these two teams today, which has been unfortunate for me. So I'm not 100% sure the kind of strategies they're going to be employing, or tactics is a more accurate term, I think. But so far it's been really hectic in the midfield, which I find really interesting. Most of the games have been like slam it down to the wings, you know, that sort of thing. This has so far been, the last minute and a half, been primarily played in front of the goals.
Yeah, in front, and away. Lost Pirate gets a halo and gets the ball back into the midfield, then does a little twirly bird past the ball, does a barrel roll, I think you might call it, and doesn't quite get the clear away. FX with the cross gets the ball into the orange zone. Called trying to make something of it, but can't as the clear comes through, and now Ozzy Osbourne having to get himself into the back of his zone to try and get the clear out. Lots of defensive work having to go through from the boys of Paragon eSports, and so far they've actually let one through, so their defense hasn't been as tight as they could want it.
I agree. This has been a really I mean, you can't really ask for a much better defense, and they've still let one through, which is, it really does speak well to the offense coming from the Roos. And you're absolutely right. We definitely can we just call them the Roos? Can we agree on that, please?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Because I don't think I'm going to be able to manage that every single time. But here comes a rush from Ozzy Osbert, excuse me. It nearly didn't work out as the ball got cleared, but they've managed to aerial it back towards the way they want to go. But here comes the Roos shooting it straight forward. Now we're talking about a game where the ball's just getting slammed around the field. Not so much the midfield skirmishes anymore. This is just going for a ride.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncontrolled to my eyes at the moment. So neither of the teams actually picking up the ball and setting it up for each other. They're just really getting a touch to the ball and then hoping to create something out of nothing rather than building up pressure and creating something from that. That said, FX comes through together with Ozzy Osbourne, the two old teammates. Cold is kind of the newcomer here on Gamester TV. We haven't really seen him in combination with these other two players for a while, until today. So you'd expect Ozzy Osbourne and FX to combo well together. Unfortunately, that combo didn't turn into a goal for them just this time round. Up into the air goes Cold. With 1 minute remaining, they trail by 1-0, and there's another shot that goes through. It goes wide, and the defenders in the end are not needed except to get the clear through, and it's Ozzy Osbourne who has the first set of duties to do that. Then Cold again carries it through. Now he has an opportunity. The cross is good, but disrupted by Lost Pirate. Nicely done there. Grand Illusion comes through himself, gets a clear himself with 30 seconds remaining. This might be a very, very uneventful, really, 1-0 to the Gameroos. I think I might have lost Lon, ladies and gentlemen, so I'll count down the last 10 seconds of the game, and just as I called it, Paragon FX gets a score and evens the goals at 1 point each.
I didn't expect that. I really didn't. This is maybe even a low scoring game compared to the monster games you've just been watching, but this is pretty cool. I like how evenly matched these teams feel, and I like the fact that they did battle in the midfield. You don't see that often. Granted, they sort of eschewed that and just started smashing into the ball at 100 miles an hour just to see if they could get a result out of it. And the result was 1-1. So here we are in overtime.
Yeah, Paragon doing what it takes to force a 1-1 situation and the overtime, which is happening right now. Long floating ball met in the air by Grand Illusion. He's going to try and carry it up. FX intercepts the ball, sets it up. A shot on goals from Ozzy Osbourne is true. And after trailing for 4 minutes and 50 seconds, they score a goal to force overtime. And then, after about a minute of overtime, take the first game of the series.
You're right, and it was that very combo you were talking about, the combo that had played together. Ozzy Osbourne and FX, you were saying, were old teammates. And it was that very combo that was able to score that the golden goal there. The surge forward, teamwork, bouncing into each other. That's how you get it done. Smashing into the ball isn't quite so effective.
Beautiful play there. FX and Ozzy Osbourne in the end, the goal scorers. Stormcloud, the goal scorer for the Roos, as we wait for Lost Pirate to ready up. He gets the Slow Bob Award tonight. It's been a while since I've awarded a Slow Bob Award. We used to do that every single night with Left 4 Dead in terms of readying up. We'd wait for 8 players to ready up, and whoever was the last one to ready up, he got awarded a Slow Bob Award. Didn't actually involve any sort of prize or anything like that. Just, the kudos of being Slow Bob on stream.
Hey, you find glory where you can, right?
That's the one. So Lost Pirates carries the mark. Just for now, we're into game number 2 of the series between Paragon and the Gameroos.
Let's see if he can get some glory other ways on the field here and pick up another win in this series. So far 1-0 in terms of the game, 0-0 here obviously, and the skirmishing continues. FX ramming that right down the throat, but the save at the last second. Man, I was not expecting that. But then what does that mean?
Oh, Cold with a cheeky little bunt with the back of his car. Tries to set Ozzy Osbourne up. He can't, but that's okay. Cold is there to take advantage himself. Unexpected defense from Stormcloud was pretty good, but Cold gets around and puts the ball away. Very, very cheekily done. 4:29, and the momentum remains with Paragon eSports as with that goal. They're 1-0 in the series up, and now 1-0 in the game up as well.
Much stronger start from them this game than the previous one. Much, much stronger. I think you're right. I think the momentum is with them. They got a bit of heat on them now, a bit of confidence, and I think that's starting to show in their play. Though right now they really need to defend this.
Yeah, a little bit of ball chasing. Slow Bob, Lost Pirate, arrives at the party and says, hey, let me score a quick goal. Nicely done. Nice cut shot, which was absolutely required because the defender was dead in front of him. And he clears the defender, gets the goal. We've only had 1 minute of play, so it took us about 6 minutes to get 3 goals in the first game. It's just taken us 1 minute to pick up 2 goals in the second game. So the series is definitely heating up, as you said, Lon.
Yeah, no kidding. But let's see who actually really is in charge right now, because each game has its own momentum. Each game has who's pressuring. Right now, obviously, Paragon have the ball where they want it to a degree, doing a decent job keeping that down on the far side of the field, keeping it in the zone of the orange team, that being the Roos. I knew what it was. I was saying orange. I swear. Anyway, so they're dumping the ball down there, And so far, the Roos haven't been able to fully clear it. I don't know. Like, I understand that they're actually holding really strong in terms of defense, but this isn't where you want to be. You can't let a team like Paragon just take shots at you. That's not really what you can get away with.
Yeah, the Roos so far have been able to win that dangerous game. It is a 1-all situation, so at least they've been able to keep it even. But then in comes a nice shot. Grand Illusion with the defensive duties that time round as we keep following the honeybee colored storm cloud. And I think, is that the breakout car? Possibly so. Pressure on the blue zone. The honey colored car comes through. Oh, sorry, the bee colored car comes through. Storm Cloud tries to create a goal out of a nice little cross there, but it's not to be. Now their goal face is open, but that's okay. Lost Pirate comes through over the goal and clears the ball and continues the kind of ding-dong situation that we've had. Longinus, nothing between these two teams.
This is out of control.
And it's really slowed down as well. The game was quite quick in that first minute with those 2 goals, but here we are, 3 minutes of play almost up, and still no further goals from that point onwards.
I think both of these teams may actually be better defensively than they are aggressively. Like, their aggression seems to be quite heavy-handed a lot of the time. Sort of, just ram it down their throat, maybe try for long, hammering shots. While what you're saying about the game is slowed down, they're both quite hard teams to score against, it looks like to me. While they're both a little bit, they're definitely not ineffective, but I feel like they're both better defending teams than they are attacking teams, and that's causing the game not to. It's hard to score when you both like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
See it in I guess in football. You see it in rugby a lot as well. In fact, there was a Rugby World. Oh, FX breaks the deadlock, scores a goal. I was just about to say, you see it often in rugby where teams focus so hard on defense that it's impossible to score against them, but they're not able to convert their own play into point scoring themselves. And, well, that's not the case here, as with 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining, the boys from Paragon get themselves a nice little lead. Nothing that they can be too comfortable with, though, Lon, because things could turn around very, very quickly.
Yeah, I want to just say right now, you're right this is Rocket League, man. You never know what's going to happen. In fact, this might score right here, and it does. Cal gets the score. Oh man, Paragon, they've suddenly picked up this momentum, and it feels almost like, now don't get me wrong, Paragon are playing well, but it feels almost like the Roos have been leaving their net wide open just a little too much, trying to get that extra pressure, try to score those goals, and it's not working out.
Well, maybe they felt the pressure themselves with the time ticking down. 2-1, they decided to go for broke, and they have paid for it. So 3-1 is the goal situation. Possible reply coming through from the Roos, but that was not to be. Now the ball sitting in the midfield again. We've seen this many, many times between these two players. Not a huge amount of control. The ball anybody's game really for much of the time, and so far Paragon eSports, the ones that have been able to take advantage of the opportunities presented to themselves, just like that. Ozzy Osbourne takes care of it, and look at that. That was a loose ball from off of a Roo, and in fact Ozzy Osbourne got the deflection, and Stormcloud then had a little bit of an own goal situation there, letting the ball deflect off of him and into the goals.
Yeah, no kidding. You're talking about taking advantage of opportunity. It's pretty easy to take advantage of the opportunity of your opposing team scoring on themselves, right?
Oh, indeed. As the time counts down to 0, that is Paragon eSports after a very, very slow start, moving up into a 2-0 situation. I wonder what the predictions in Twitch chat are for how the series is going to go. Are we going to see some sort of a comeback from the Gameroos Hypanova team, or will Paragon eSports get the sweep?
Those games were so close. I find it hard. they find it hard to believe that it's just going to be a straight 3-0. Now, don't get me wrong. Granted, Paragon had a commanding lead at the end of that game, but during it was very close for a long, long time. I find it hard to believe that Paragon is just going to straight sweep them.
Well, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have every blow and every shot, every goal and every save, just like that one, here on GameStar TV for the duration of the match. It's round 7 action between Paragon eSports and Gameroos Hypanova. The Roos must win this game to stay in the series. Paragon just need to pick up a single goal and then maintain their defensive capabilities like they have all game long, and they will win the series. Of course, this isn't an elimination tournament, so it's not as though either of these teams is going to be knocked out of the day. They'll continue to play, but still, the win-loss ratio is what's going to decide who qualifies for what part of the Invite League and the CG Main League. So there is a lot to go. This is a point or 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we get further and further throughout the day, these wins become more and more important.
Yeah, we were talking to Soma and Aaron earlier on, Lon, and they were saying that by the end of round 4, what was it? Positions 4 to 7 were on identical points. Here's a shot at goals. It's defended beautifully by Pirates. Lost Pirate, who clears the ball away, now has the dribbling shoes on as it gets disrupted by Ozzy Osbourne on defense. He tried to create a breakaway out of that save, which is really what you must do when you're under intense pressure. As soon as the pressure's relieved, try to create an opportunity for yourself so that you rub salt into the wounds. 3 minutes and 20 seconds of play remaining, Lon, and Donuts on the ball.
Yep, it's true. I mean, I think this is good, though. The Roos haven't let the pressure from the previous games carry them over and affect their play. Like, they haven't been playing desperate to score or anything like that. They realize it's a new game. They've reset themselves.
Oh, dangerous play.
And there they go.
Oh, that was a little bit of an error from Grand Illusion. He was in the corner and he crossed the ball. And Lost Pirate was there to take one of those opportunities we'd been talking about.
Hey, if they're going to give them to you, you got to take them, right? You have to take them if they're going to give them to you.
So that's the Roos in the lead for the first time in a long time. And the question is going to be whether they're going to be able to maintain momentum for 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 45 now, to stay in the lead and force a 4th game in the series.
It could very well happen. I mean, the way these teams have been playing, they do have long stretches without goals, and then they'll sort of have a flurry, maybe.
Oh, hang on, sorry. My bad. I've been flummoxed by the color of Grand Illusion's car. That wasn't a mistake. That was a purposeful cross. What an error. Oh, man. I was looking at the blue stripes and thinking he's on the blue team. Because, that's how this game works.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Hey, it works how you say it works, Crisis. Don't let anyone tell you different. Anyway, Lost Pirate shooting on the goal here. Past 2 defenders like it was nothing. Where was this last game? Yeah,
gets a nice dribble. Look at that. Beautifully done. Cold came through to try and disrupt things, but no such luck as we get into a 2-0 situation for the Gameroos. I bet you Twitch chat went absolutely ballistic when I said it was an error. No, they didn't. They let me off scot-free for that one. I'm embarrassed and ashamed for the Twitch chat for not calling me out on that one. They just believe me, Lon.
They're just like, they just didn't have the heart to tell you. They're like, oh, he's been casting every game all day. He probably doesn't even know who's playing anymore. They just couldn't bring themselves to like. It'd be like yelling at your 85-year-old grandma for forgetting something. You just be like, nah, I can't do that.
I'm pretty sure it's Australia that's playing, right? No, that's tomorrow. Australia versus Argentina. Who's going to win that game?
No comment.
No comment. I mean, the Argentinians have the underdog status, don't they? and they've been improving, knocked off some big names in this tournament, but can they beat the Australians? I do not think so. That's my call.
Maybe not. But you know what? That's, look, you just never know. At the end of the day, this is why you watch the game, right? I mean, of course you can make predictions and analysis, and of course you can bounce the ball off the wall only to have it deflected back at your goal. But you never know how these things are going to turn out, I guess is what I'm saying.
That's a shot. That is an open goal. Put the two together, and that is a score for Cold. 31 seconds remaining, Longinus, and we could be into yet another overtime.
Well, when you have teams this this team's evenly matched, it produces some really interesting results, right?
Yeah,
like
indeed.
5 overtimes in a row.
Lost Pirate gets the halo and the clear, but the pressure's still on at his goal. Paragon looking to even things up. They've got 10 seconds to do so. Time running out. We haven't, actually we have. We've had one game where it has evened out at the death so far today, but this game is not going to duplicate that situation. And the Gameroos, Hypanova, pick up a game themselves and bring the series to 2-1.
I don't know if you saw that, but the Paragon team just readied up immediately. They were all just like, ready, let's do this. Like, I don't think they're happy about that result. I think they wanted the sweep.
That's the equivalent of a sports team running out onto the field halfway through halftime. Oh, shoot. I just joined blue.
You just joined blue.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I fat-fingered the join
right?
there. So hopefully that's not going to disrupt things too much.
Is this how you're announcing Paragon Crisis? You know.
My bad.
It's all right. It happens.
My excuse there is it's been a long game. Long day. Well, no harm done. The score is still 0-0. I didn't score any goals there.
But you could have. You like it would have been unfair. You were actually banned from this tournament on the grounds of it, like, you know, it wouldn't be competitive for the other teams.
That's the one. Paragon, Ozzy Osbourne carrying the ball up, looking for an attempt on goal. The ball sitting up there cold, tries to take advantage of it, but he can't, and it's cleared away by Stormcloud. Nicely done. That was danger time for the Roos, and Paragon not capitalizing enough. Well, not capitalizing at all, Lon.
No, I would agree. That's definitely not enough.
I mean, it's a kind of it's a binary sort of situation, isn't it? You either capitalize and score a goal, or you don't capitalize and you do not score a goal. There's no in between.
Yeah, you're right. There's no real middle ground, is there?
Following Ozzy Osbourne at the moment, he had the goalie duties, picks up the ball in the midfield, gets himself up into the air, gets the twist on, beats one defender, doesn't beat the second though, grand illusion there, clears the ball out, and that is a long-range attempt at goal, bouncing off of the walls that gets cleared. In fact, another attempt that goes wide. Stormcloud, oh, he was so close there, and very clever disruptions from Paragon, making sure that the control never really gets into the hands of the Roos.
Is it just me, or are these two teams playing way more aggressive this game?
Oh, they might well be. But I think the pattern is very, very similar to earlier, to their previous games, where there's a lot of big hits on the ball and hoping that it goes in the right direction.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there were a couple of nice goal attempts, I thought. I thought just before, I forget who it was from Paragon, made a really nice goal attempt that was saved by the second defender. But I thought the way he studded the ball was pretty cool. Speaking of cool things, clear going from Lost Pirate. He's trying to make a run here, the breakaway, but FX won't have it. He's actually trying to set up Ozzy Osbourne here for the goal. The classic, you know, cross shoot, pass cross, whatever. Anyway, cross center and then shoot, but not quite able to make it happen. Lost Pirate here now with the ball. Doesn't really have that much control of it though, just like you've been talking about all game Crisis. They've just been smashing these things around.
Yeah, he's back on defensive duties and sits and watches the ball for a while. That's because Stormcloud was there, must have made the call in their comms saying he's got it. Now Lost Pirate goes through. He's beaten though by one attacker, Paragon FX. But fortunately, again, the defenders were there. It is a 0-all situation, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe 3.5 minutes have gone by already and no scores so far? And just as I say that, I jinx it. Stormcloud says, let's change the situation. 1 minute and 30 remaining on the clock. I would like a goal. Thank you very much. And he has gifted it by an open goal there. Nice play from Stormcloud. We'll stick with him, Lon, as he goes in, gets the broadside over to try and disrupt the goal, the center. But straight away, he's on defense because the orange zone is where the pressure is.
Just over and over again, Paragon have just they really don't want to play this game in their own zone, do they? Like they've been playing. I think their defense has been stellar, honestly, but they just really don't want to have to deal with that. They'd much rather put the pressure on the Root, who also, as we said, we're a defensive team. So, I mean, you're right. They're just sticking it down. They're just over and over again. The demo coming through. Always fun to watch.
Yeah, the ball crossed over. Lost Pirate from the Ruse makes it 2. And they are making this a series, Longinus. They were 2-0 down. Somebody called for a sweep in favor of Paragon, and that lit a fire under the Gameroos Hypanova, and they have come back with a vengeance. It's 2-1 for the series, and they're looking to make it 2-all.
Yeah, no kidding. This game has really surprised me, honestly. It really did look to me like it was going to be a sweep from Paragon. I don't think it's unfair for me to say that, but the Roos have really turned it on, and they've got a respectable 2-0 lead. Looks like it's not going to change. Though Paragon on the attack, stand corrected, Carl just will not be stopped. Nice little bit of teamwork. Aussie Osbord there. So they can do them, straight down the mid offense attack. Offense attack, number 1. Best at English.
Don't worry, mates, because the important thing is happening on the field right now. 15 seconds to go. It is 2-1 in favor of the Roos. And Paragon don't want to go down. They don't want to let the series become evened out. They're keeping the ball up in the orange zone. It's still up in the air. It's knocked away flying. And there you go, it goes dead. So the winner is Gameroos Hypanova, and they draw the series 2 each.
Yeah, we're going to game 5. I thought that attempt on goal just then was really nice, actually, when they managed to keep the ball going and take that last shot to get it into overtime. But you just, man, like those kind of high-pressure shots, you put a little bit too much oomph into it. You make the shot a little too early. And just, that must have been... It was so close, right? That was a nice little play that I think with a little bit of less pressure, probably would have netted them a goal.
So, quick shout out to Flying Quill, who has drawn my attention to the fact that I've been butchering Stormcloud's name all game long. It isn't actually Stormcloud. It is Stormclawd. Or I wonder if it's just supposed to be Stormlord.
No, it's. I think it's supposed to be Claude. He's just spelled it funny because he's a special snowflake.
What is a Stormclawd?
No, he's just got like lightning claws or something.
No, but there's no
He's
S
just
in
spelled
it. Well, there's an S right at the start, but I mean, what is his actual name? Maybe they can tell me.
If you are Claude, you have claws, right? You've been clawed by something. Maybe he was struck by lightning.
Maybe so. 30 seconds of play, and the donuts are still on the board. The players do seem to love the donuts in these two teams because it seems to take a long time for them to score goals. Just the second game, I think it was, where it was 3-1 in favor of Paragon, had those 2 early goals. There's an opportunity that goes wanting. The Roos trying to keep it in the blue zone, but so far not able to do so. Paragon coming back with a vengeance, maybe gotten a bit of a wake-up call. Aussie Osborne tries to get the center. It's disrupted by Grand Illusion, who clears the ball out, gets it into the midfield though, and is intercepted himself.
I think you've been spoiled for goals. I think you just watched all these really hectic high goal games in a row, and you suddenly think that no goal in 30 seconds is like bad or something. Like, they can't all be like that, Crisis. They can't all be like that.
Well, I suppose, you know, I guess the disadvantage of having 20 goals in one match is that the replay time itself would add up to more than the time played. So I guess they're doing us a favor.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Coming to the 3-minute mark, so that'll be 2 minutes of play with no goals if nothing changes in the next 10 seconds. And
Okay,
right
2
now
minutes
it's all
in.
about bashing the ball from one end of the field to the other.
Both these teams really do seem to enjoy this chaotic style of play. I say as someone gets demoed, I mean, come on. They're like, I think they're having there's no way these guys aren't having a bucket load of fun right now, though. Like, it's certainly not the most technical Rocket League I've ever seen. Though both teams have had, flashes of real excellence. But there's no way they're not having a blast.
Oh, I don't know. You know, the pressures on a professional esports athlete are immense. And I guess the question is, when does a game become a job? And I suppose it's a lot easier for it not to be a job if you keep winning. And that's what one of these two teams needs to do, or wants to, will absolutely have to do, because there's no such thing as a draw in Rocket League. The mechanics of the game just don't allow it. So even though we've got 2 O's on the board right now, one for each of the team, that will change. Whether it's a golden point situation or just a change in the run of play, Longinus, either way, somebody's got to win this game, and thus the best of 5 series.
Yep. I mean, it's Thunderdome down here, man. 2-man enter, well, 6. And then 3 leave, I guess. Doesn't have quite the same ring to it. But there will be, as you said, there will definitely be a winner. We will determine who's got the gas in the tank.
Grand Illusion with a lovely little demo there. You can't stand around very still for very long on this game, or in this match, because you'll get taken out. Ball comes through. FX gets up into the air. This is a nice rapid cross. He gets one demo in. That's one defender that misses, and Ozzy Osborne follows through to get his team onto the map. And they are 1-0 in the lead in the last game of a best of 5.
In such a low-scoring game like this as well, like a single goal is worth so very much. That's huge. Yeah, like it may be like we might not see another goal this game.
Yeah, 1 minute remaining, and it took 4 minutes before that goal got scored. So absolutely, we may see a 1 for Donut as we get yet another demo. It's actually been quite a high demo game. We've had 3 so far. And the pressure, relentless right now from the boys of, from the Roos. Trying to get the ball up into the blue zone, keep it in the blue zone, and get a reply and secure a victory against the side that they should feel that they are very closely matched to.
Absolutely. Well, this has been an incredible match.
Oh, no ways. Ozzy Osborne says, yeah, okay, that's fine. You could probably score another goal in 23 seconds, but can you score 2?
Yeah, exactly. That was probably the death knell right there. Like he's putting the nails in the coffin with that one. It's going to be very hard to score 2 goals in 23 seconds. Very, very hard.
Lost Pirate fancies his chances. He carries the ball up, overcooks it a little. He's got a little combo going on with Storm Claude. But the combo's broken. 10 seconds remaining, and we might see salt rubbed into the wound as the boys from Paragon try to make it 3-0 at the death. But in the end, 2 goals to nothing is all that they need to put themselves onto the victor's podium and take the series 3-2.
That was a really fun series. Very low scoring, like you said, but they did do it. And Paragon, I think they thrived in the environment of this game just a little bit better. I think that chaotic style sort of suited them just a little bit more. which I think is probably what cost the Roos the game. Is they were playing into a style that wasn't necessarily as beneficial for them.
I have
think?
a sense, though, that if either of these two teams take that style of play into the Invite League, they are going to be punished by teams that have better control and better combinations.
I mean, you're right. Both these teams definitely need to improve if they want to do well in this league. I mean, getting into it is just step one, right?
Yeah. All right, let's pick up an MVP for the series. What's your call, mate?
It's really hard for me to gauge. I thought, even though they lost, I thought Grand Illusion played well. Ozzy Osbert was really good. FX was really good. Even Cal had a few really stellar moments. Lost Pirate did quite well as well. I think you have to give it to Ozzy Osbert.
All right, so I'm happy to do that. Ozzy scored 2 goals in that last game. The first a combination and the second pretty much a solo effort to seal the deal for his team, Paragon eSports. So they take the victory, and Ozzy Osbert goes into the MVP pot. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with round number 8 of the day. That is the penultimate round, and that is going to be the Scavengers versus Ripple eSports. This is Crisis and Longinus signing out.
Latest.